Hello everybody, it's Vinyl Rich here with vinyl video number 31. This is my second attempt at this. The first attempt I started coughing. I should have had some water, but anyways, I got me a Diet Dr. Pepper. I started coughing and nobody wants to see and hear that, you know. Anyways, I just woke up. Realized I have the house to myself. I do have some vinyl that I bought in the previous couple of weeks, probably 3 weeks now, that I haven't shown, and might as well show it now. Got 3 singles I'm going to start off with. First one is the Dead Kennedys' very first single, California Uber Alles, back with Man with the Dogs. This is came out in 1979. There's Governor Brown with the happy faces. Really good single. I have all the Dead Kennedys albums. I had all of their singles except for this one. Came across this one, picked it up. And it's on this Alternative Tentacles label. It's a little bit different than the one that everybody knows. Really good classic punk rock. Another one here, another great early, this one came out in 81. Really great punk rock, 45 7-inch. The Zany Guys, Party Hits Volume 2. I'm still looking for Volume 1. Really fun single. From Arizona. The Hog's Ear Report has shown this single before. It comes with this insert. There's with all the lyrics. It's got the new release by JFA right there. Pick that up. Hog's Ear Report. You'll like it, I'm sure. The Zany Guys, they were blessed with a really great vocalist. That's one thing a lot of bands, not only just punk bands, but a lot of bands in general, it's hard to find a really great vocalist, and this guy is really good. And it's on Placebo Records. Really cool EP. Now the last 7-inch I have here, it's Mental Health by Normand and the Rockwells. You might recognize one of the guys in this band. Derek Kagan's right there. He even signed this copy. I guess Derek's doing something with the drummer in this band, doing a current project, and I guess he asked him, you know, what did you ever do with your, I guess there's 500 of these, and I guess each member got 100. And Derek asked the drummer what he did with them. He said, oh, I still have them. So they're selling them on Derek's Bandcamp page for $15. Derek had made a video a while back showing different bands. I can't remember the band he came out with after this, something Sex. And I looked up online this record and some of his other ones, and it was selling for quite a bit more than 15. This one was. But yeah, you know, if you're interested, pick it up. It's on Weasel Records. Norman and the Rockwells. It's kind of has that new wavy keyboard in a couple of the songs, so it's a little bit dated, but it's worth having. Next one, the first album I'm going to show, it's Buck Owens and the Buckaroos. Sweet Rosie Jones. Still has a price sticker on there. It's on the Capitol Swirl, so I'm not going to show. I'm not going to show the label, but it's got Hello Happiness, Goodbye Loneliness. It's got Sweet Rosie Jones, Swinging Doors, Merle Haggard song. Everybody Needs Somebody. A lot, mostly Buck Owens pen songs, and by this time of his career, they were releasing one good album after another. For most people, I think a greatest hits of Buck Owens is enough, but since Buck was the first person I ever saw in concert, I kind of have a soft spot for him. Now this next one is a 10-inch. I haven't opened it yet, and I'm not sure how exactly to open it. I tried opening it, and it looked like I couldn't do it without messing up this foil shrink wrap, or it's not shrink wrap, but what it was wrapped in, and it's the Butthole Surfers, and there's a close-up of the butthole right there, and it's sealed with this thing, and I was trying to open it, and it looked, I don't know, I'll figure it out. I mean, if I have to, I'll just get scissors and cut it. But it's a 10-inch Fly. Came out in 93. So any Butthole Surfers from the 90s, I'll pick up on vinyl. Even that last album, which I don't like by them. But I don't even think that did come out on vinyl. Next album is Ty Segall, Lemons. This is his second album on Goner Records. It's not quite as good as Melted, the third album of his that I have. But it's a good album. It was $10. And for $10, I'm not going to pass it up. Sounds like the kid next door is having problems. And here's the list of the songs, and the front cover is pretty cool. The back cover is not that great. It's a typical sounding early Ty Segall, garagey sounding, and it's on Goner Records, Lemons. I really like Ty Segall's recent albums better than his earlier stuff. Manipulator is a great album. If you can find that on vinyl, I suggest picking it up. And he's just released 2 albums this year, I believe it is. Maybe it was the end of last year, but I believe they both came out this year. And one of them's called T-Rex, which is all covers of T-Rex songs. Really, what I've heard of it, it is fantastic, and I will be picking that up. And he has another new album, and I don't recall the name of the album, but it has more of a psychedelic feel, and I'm really looking forward to hearing that. It's gotten really good reviews. This next one is Slash, the early sessions. Now this isn't Slash, the guitar player for Guns N' Roses. This is Slash Records right there. You can, and I remember this comp when it came out in the 80s, and I ran across this for $10 again, and I said I'm gonna get this, and right here the early recordings I figured it was gonna be some unreleased stuff, and it's not. It's actually stuff. Well, who's on there? The Blasters are on here, Gun Club, Rank and File, Violent Femmes, X, Fear, Germs, and the Dream Syndicate. All great LA bands from the late 70s, early 80s. And I was thinking it was going to be some unreleased stuff, but it's not. It's all stuff off of their albums on Slash Records, which is cool. I mean, for $10, I'm going to get it, but I was kind of hoping for some unreleased stuff. And it's on this custom label I'll show. Pretty cool. And the other side, Slash Records. Slash Records originally was a magazine, fanzine in LA, just much like Flipside. They started making albums. This next one is a soundtrack to Barry Lyndon. It's a promo copy. Really, I love Stanley Kubrick's movies, and the soundtrack to the two movies that came out prior to this, 2001: Space Odyssey and Clockwork Orange, are both fantastic soundtracks. I have not heard this one. It looks like it's all classical music. Yeah. So I'm not, I don't know. I love Stanley Kubrick. It came on this inner sleeve, this Warner reprise. And it's on that palm tree label. I'm not going to show that. Excuse me. Next one is a 80s rap. I believe it's 80s. De La Soul on Tommy Boy Records. Me, Myself, and I. It's got, I don't know, several versions of that song. And it's got some other tracks too. I think 3 other songs too. This is not my favorite song by them, but I like De La Soul. I don't have a giant rap collection at all. I do have some 80s, maybe some early 90s. But yeah, De La Soul was really cool. Now these next two are the highlights for me. Two albums that are really cool. First I'm going to plug Shindig magazine, by far the best magazine out there, I think. This issue is highlighting 1966. Apparently that's when the Monkees TV show debuted. But anyways, before the VC, or I was hip to the VC, and I mean now I'm getting turned on to all these albums from the VC. Dead Wax 66, the Hog's Ear Report. I mean, I've directly bought albums because they've shown them. I'm sure there's other people. There's a lot of people showing a lot of good stuff. Eric Medeiros, Flipside CT, Tim Allen. But before that, I used to rely on Shindig magazine. That was probably my number one source of checking out new music or what was new to me. And this next album was one that piqued my interest because I saw the Hog's Ear Report. He did a really good video on it, and I'm going to put a link to that video in my description. But they did a write-up in this magazine of it. And it's called The Psychedelic Moods by The Deep. So even if I still wasn't aware of the VC, I still might have become aware of this album. And this is the second album they did under a different name. But I'm not going to go into great detail. But yeah, this is it. It's a Psychedelic Moods. It's a 3-record set. Let me open it here. It's got this hype sticker here. Tells anyways, I think this came out in '66, so apparently that's why it's in that issue of Shindig. Now this is a really great packaging. I mean, this is a it's thick. Let's see if we can see. I mean, this is really a thick gatefold, and it's got a lot of liner notes, which I have not read yet. Little brief history of the Deep. This is a band, two individuals, basically brought in some session players. I think Barry Goldberg, the guitar player, was one of the session players, and this album predates the Velvet Underground and Nico. It predates 13th Floor Elevators, predates the Blues Magoos, Psychedelic Lollipop. This is considered maybe the first psychedelic album. It was a big flop. I mean, 6 months later, in '67, the psychedelic was the big phase, but you know, these guys didn't get to cash in on that at all. It's not the greatest psych album of all time, but it's really good. And it's 3 albums. You got one disc is the original album, The Deep. You've got the second album that they did under a different name. I can't remember, and I'm not going to bother looking. And then you got the third album. I'll show a label here, which is Outtakes. Psychedelic Moods. Very cool. The packaging in this thing is really, I mean, this is some thick ass cardboard here, man. And the only thing is, I have one album on this side of the gatefold, one on this side of the gatefold, and I have the third one in the middle. I don't want to put 2 of them in one side. But yeah, this is really, really cool. This is online. In fact, I might even leave a link to this online. Very cool. Watch the Hog's Ear Report. I'm going to leave a link to that. Watch his video. He does he does the album justice. He knows more of the history. Now this next one, I was really jazzed when I heard this album just came out. My favorite band, current band, Nod. Name of this album is Mirrors. The actual album cover, this is on the actual shrink wrap that came in. The actual album cover is just a plain tinfoil looking, and this is, man, I love Nod. I don't know if everybody knows that, but Mirror, I guess it's called. This is the other side. This is the name of the songs. 3 songs. Most of their songs are 10 minutes or longer. This album is a little bit different than their other stuff. The vocals are more, I don't know if I should say traditional, but it's on white vinyl. This is a great album. It's not like their last release was more electronic. It did have some jazzy, like Miles Davis kind of sax parts. It had some, I don't know, ambient stuff. This is more of their rock sound. And the vocals in this are, the guy's vocals usually, they blend in with the instruments, and it's almost like it's another instrument. On this one here, it's more of a traditional vocalist. You can actually hear the words of the songs. But anyways, I love this band. This is my favorite band of current bands that are actually, out there. Not bands like the Rolling Stones. I love the Rolling Stones, but for me they're long gone, being relevant. But this is a current band that's out there playing. Very original band, and I've said it before, but it's really hard to be an original sounding band in rock music in this day and age. It's mostly rehashing stuff. Most bands are just rehashing stuff that has been done before, and not with this band. And all their releases they're not the same at all. That's one thing I like about them. But yeah, this Mirror, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, and if not, you can go to their webpage, and you can play all their music for free online. I didn't dare play it on this video. The last time I played some of their music I got like a warning thing. But anyways, that's it for me, folks.